and get the death benefit, and then simply save money for larger purchases at the best rate you
It will
can, and
cost
for a
many of them their
long-term
lives.
investment strategy. Obviously using a
Hello.
tax-deferred vehicle
Hey.
is
Some
great.
Hi,
fortunately
social
don't
Dynamics
bring
media
health
family.
benefits
the
victims.
life insurance policy
Being
that you're talking about.
whatsoever
But I
racist,
just find it simpler
then not
and
necessarily being
easier to maintain,
whatever walks of
and you
life,
don't have
factions of society, or
this
lifestyle
low
preferences.
rate of return,
And being of the old, young
fees
alike,
that go
or
up
both
with
the two sexual
upfront
genders,
costs and then the ongoing
males and
maintenance fees embedded in
females,
the policy. Now,
representing the global
there's
community
nothing
as we have it
inherently wrong with this,
for the human
but it makes it a little
species
more complex.
And at the same
within
time, we're trying to govern the
this
right
post
turn
911 era of a new
Those
millennium,
reasons
this apocalyptic
It
day and
all gets
age.
to be too much.
And whereas the doomsday clock is now at a couple few minutes to
How is
midnight,
it going to teach
compared on to our
millions of
formerly
displaced
previously
people
applied today, and it was at a quarter midnight for these rather biblically prophetic times. How are you all doing?
political deportees still
Well,
languish
hopefully
in
everyone is doing at least okay.
the prisoners
If
of
not,
war
better
still
yet,
have
to be said, to be feeling all right. Or
Or
not best of all, to be said, to be feeling
who are now abandoning their
blessed and stressed, more blessed and stressed, or too blessed to possibly become or be stressed.
civilians who fled the
You and
conflict.
yours, your family and friends, and hopefully me and mine
In total,
are feeling
displaced either
at
by
least
force or by their own choice.
okay.
Nearly 20 million
Not better
people
yet,
throughout
what to be
Europe.
said. All right, or not best of all.
It's a jumble of different nationalities, all wandering from the total devastation.
As well as you and yours.
Most Americans will need
Likewise, as
for,
well, all the same.
period of
Well, so I say, regardless of whether or not that my person,
In the heart
and
of
speaking
Germany,
some or such correct, proper standard English grammar, being of the American dialect of some or such qualities and quantities or not, they're speaking the King's English or street slang for that matter. Then some of such are my
at the same time, more than 2 million French,
thoughts
570,000
and all
Belgians,
words
400,000 Dutch,
to be
over
expressed
20,000
and
Italians
do regard
heading
in
west.
reference
You
to
also have the ability to work that into your budget.
each and every
English
one.
journalist puts it, you see
Right.
the history of Europe out on the roads of Germany.
Whatever I've said.
along the way. So I would at the
It's
Alrighty.
a nightmare for the Allies to have this human tide.
But then let me first get this here the basic intro as an introduction out the way before I were to go much further, speaking upon some such of a subject matter of the issue at hand, to be gone about for to be spoken upon,
Russians, all go at it to their
at some such given moment in time,
to be stopped, observes the British captain.
be a given argument is a controversy or not, and or having to be resolved,
In the newly
if it has not been already,
many of the prisoners
and
we
with
have
the
just
many different views and opinions thereof, or pros and cons associated with some of such,
one deportee admits that
communications of
should
dialogue
have wiped the whole of Germany off the map.
for what it's worth. Or be I were to speak upon a couple, few or four more for that matter. But then hopefully, nevertheless, with that much less usages of excuses of profanity, much rather than instead of with that much more cuss words, to simply say. What did I say?
Well, I suspect you haven't lost a whole lot.
Then, therefore, likewise as well, all the same. Hopefully,
One Holocaust survivor
likewise as well, all the same, with that much less of an opportunity or a chance to play that the part of the devil's advocate, and as the lesser two evils, being that of a prodigal son, where the worst of two evils is the likes of false brethren,
nothing could have given us more satisfaction.
the supposed so-called holier than thous of modern day religious Pharisees and Sadducees, the wolves in sheep's clothing, snakes in the grass.
The Nazis' accomplices are also punished.
The likes to be considered among themselves, being of whom are of the worst of the worstest of unbelievers and unbelievers, being of deceivers who pretend to have become or pretend to be believers in God, as in Christians, aka Protestants. And therefore, they themselves, being the likes, would be considered as being the worst of the worstest.
In these images, a
Uh,
informant is confronted by a woman she's denounced.
Devil worshippers, then of whom make up the majority of churchgoers of whatsoever religious denominations, from the pools to the pulpits alike, members and visitors, one and all, both groups. And as they would be considered as some such of the likes of false prophets and antichrist. One and the same, likewise as well as inclusive pulpits of members and visitors who can teach the world a thing or two about being card-carrying members to the dark forces of the underworld, of Hades, of demon-possessed humans, affiliated or associated with and are represented our position being of enemies in the cross of Calvary and of our Lord and Savior, or his blood sacrifice of himself to become the martyr for some such to be considered as he was, be considered as the first and author of our own particular religious beliefs of faith, of spirituality, much more than religiosity. There's a difference. And as he represents Christendom and Christianity rather than churchianity.
With Garland Crew Mornings, you know when comments are made or texts come in that are just
but anyway though, now that I've gotten the preliminaries out the way, then let me get to speaking upon some of such matters or whatsoever that come to mind here and now, to be possibly considered, and please bear with me for that. I'm going to hold it though. I'm going to turn this on the radio. I'll be back. All right, just bear with me for a minute. So I'm getting ready to turn this radio off.
Your delay is free on both sides of the speed to help keep placenta accessible and affordable. If you have any questions at all, call us.
Social media family, I'm back.
We are here to help support you.
Thank you for being patient.
Oh,
okay. Good work.
Why try? As the new era of space
all right, let's get into it. As you have judged from the title for this one particular social media broadcast of mine, is speaking upon the times that we're living in. As I was saying, the more words, the best. I'll paraphrase it, not quote exactly.
These people have to be
another day, and another blessing or curse in this coronavirus, COVID-19 mad world. You tell me, which is a blessing or a curse?
And use DDT, a powerful insecticide, to battle the scourge.
And whatever I can speak upon, there we go. Don't kill a messenger. I'm just here to deliver. Okay, and as I was saying, now that I got the preliminaries out the way, hold that thought. If you please.
DDT powder, says one man. In our faces,
I'm going to
trousers, in our
snack
ears,
it.
up our noses.
Hopefully nobody tampered this here. I was on a cell phone much earlier trying to holler at one of my brothers, the only surviving male member of my own personal immediate family household, although regardless of how I'm supposed to have half-blooded brothers and sisters. Two of them have gone into the great beyond, about years apart from each passing. And whereas the only reason I brought that up is
they'll get home.
as I was talking to
They're
him,
2 weeks.
so just from some though my bag of goodies is not that far from me, but I was at the bus
At
stop.
first, the Allies
Again,
can't even
so-
comprehend.
And I put my bag down for a minute. Hopefully nobody tampers with my snacks,
And there's no
Because
plan
that's what I'm
for
trying to
taking
say.
care of
Because I'm not jammed for that in this
So they improvise,
coronavirus or COVID-19
feeding them
mad
whatever
world.
they can.
I'll start again.
Within 6 weeks of the Bergen-Belsen camp being liberated, 13,000 deportees have died either of typhus or malnutrition brought by food too rich for these walking shadows.
So I would much rather eat much more nutritious
Weeks
snacks.
after the victory,
At a time.
survivors are still wearing their
Yeah.
striped fatigues
Sometimes you want to eat the natural
and still
nutritious
dying.
snack, Even so, don't want to taste of life. I shouldn't be able to understand. Wait, talk, baby.
A history-making moment as Lord Halifax calls for a standing vote on the approval of the Charter of International Organization.
That's
The heads
good.
of the 50 United
H2O,
Nations delegation
water.
is to be counted. The vote is
That's the
unanimous.
best drink,
The
that
Charter of a new world
best
is
beverage that any human
As
can
chaos
possibly
reigns
take
over
into
in
one's
Europe.
system.
In San Francisco,
As
the
a
United
consumer.
Nations ratifies its charter on the 26th of June.
Anyway, though, getting back to some such other,
Its members intend to ban forever war between nations.
lately I've been,
The UN gets right to
more or
work.
less forcing myself to start my day off
Its relief
early.
agency, the UN,
Regardless of
sends
any
essential supplies such as potatoes,
Proverbial neighbor from hell, dickhead,
soap,
prick,
and clothes for the millions of displaced
homoish, or
persons.
faggoty, or possibly worse yet, closet faggot, nutcase.
Thousands of abandoned children
Don't go there, don't even try
rebuilding
it.
their lives.
When I mentioned that last, it's not meant to
Smiles light up all those faces
be
that have lost any trace of hope.
considered as being rather extremely homophobic, although I am homophobic, but to a certain extent, not extremely homophobic and not unreasonably or irrationally homophobic. And I am not to be considered as possibly being that of a secret or closet card-carrying member to the Westboro Baptist Church, which is ridiculously blasphemous social media website address, email of
The UNRWA
www.godhatesfags.com.
by nationality.
Then, because in all reality, the fact of the matter is that God does not hate fags. Well, that's what we believe. Believers in God, real, true believers in God. That's not trying to perpetrate.
Little by little, the railway
Like,
tracks are repaired, and the first
some such supposed
all over Europe.
believer in God, so-called, then of whom have infiltrated our rank and file.
It's a convoy
And the
of
compliment passage
bringing with it
just out the
promise
good book,
of
where it
seeing
says the
loved
kingdom
ones again.
of heaven suffers violence by
Some of the
force.
tears being shed are now
That-
tears of joy.
There's a way that seems right unto man, but ways thereof are
It's a
whatever.
miracle organization.
No.
1,500
The
planes.
devil and his demons come
in the
forth
West,
as
36,000
angels of light.
people a day.
Anyway, getting back to some such other. And as I think of it with that in my mind, I tend to try to backtrack here, reading on purpose being and all. It's like, go on with the following to continue from where and when I last left off to finish up
In
as a
Brussels,
clear form
in
of
Paris,
previous
in
prize
Amsterdam,
line and
Moscow,
thought, and then I
Prague.
thank this
They're
word.
coming home to a
No.
joyful welcome.
I mean, if God hated anybody, then he himself could not possibly give his life,
One corporal
upon
back
cross
from 5
Calvary.
years of captivity writes,
and because
there on that platform I found
if God hated anybody,
my
then God
wife,
would not
my
be
daughter,
God.
My whole life.
As God is about love, see?
It hasn't really sunk in yet.
Understand what I'm saying?
I'm sure you've heard.
And the devil is the one that's about hate.
One woman tells how.
And so,
she will
therefore,
never
if God
forget the
hated
moment we
anybody,
ran into each other's arms.
then he would no longer be God, he would be the
Tears
devil.
of joy.
You know?
Such a wonderful homecoming.
Okay?
And his
Therefore,
little girl that he hadn't seen
he
since she
couldn't
was
give
just a
his
year
life
old
upon the cross of
and was now
Calvary
6, threw
you know,
herself into his
to
arms,
save
saying,
the lost
"Daddy,
souls
Daddy,"
of
as if he
humankind, and likewise to repair the breach, being of the great divide between God and, as we have it, the human species, or whatever how it's called.
Behind closed doors, though, these homecomings are sometimes bitter ones.
And now that
These men are like strangers.
we have gotten that matter cleared up, okay,
Deliberations see the explosion
I mean,
of divorce all over Europe.
I think you get the general idea of what I was trying to say. That is, if I were to express myself in a rather homophobic way, it would be for the greater glory of God and not by means of my own personal views and opinions about cock sucking and balls licking, dickhead prick, effing idiot, homos. Okay? Being a whom with compliment passages out of the good book, being of which are making reference to or disregarding the destruction of the Moorish or homosexual ancient cities of Sodom and Gomorrah. Anyway, though, getting back to some of such if you please, as I continue. Yeah. So what was that?
Discover the rainbow.
Oh, anyway,
Looks like they picked the wrong.
I had to force myself to wake up much earlier. So I had to force myself to get my day started much earlier than
Even if it's your fault.
how I could have still been possibly feeling rather, groggy.
Isn't that what I said?
No, I didn't relapse. I didn't go back to I didn't get into the 800-pound gorillas of addictions of drinking and losing my drug of choice, for that matter. Drinking intoxicating alcoholic beverages, whatever quality and quantity, the source or type, or smoke my drug of choice, being marijuana as it is known by its medical term, or peyote as it's known by its Indian name. I'm totally part Puerto Rican, well, Indian and Asian,
Maximize muscle.
black Puerto Rican. That's right about it.
Optimize comfort for your time student.
Or I didn't go back to that of my
An obsessive performance.
drug of choice as is known by some such street slang names of reefer,
Step
or
up to the only ultimate
weed, or
fix
the wacko
for
weed.
cadet.
But
The minute you're diagnosed with type 1 diabetes, you should have a Dexcom.
out there and kind of under the weather,
Numbers are going before they get there.
I don't know, for whatever reason.
I've had other
Hell,
that works.
Some problem neighbor wasn't
See it right on your phone.
helping matters any with the way he would continue to make on a daily and nightly basis.
I think that's an incredible
That being of
advancement.
extreme and excessive qualities and quantities of different noises
Unauthorized guests.
of some source or such types upon a daily and nightly basis, causing me to lose sleep, disrupting or interrupting my sleeping pattern.
Control your network with Xfinity X5.
But I have to force myself
Xfinity
to go about
in-home Wi-Fi experience.
my daily business for my own personal survival, as a believer in God, although regardless of how at times baby Google and his brother, the other baby
What is your lotion with?
and commercial
Coconut oil, cocoa butter,
television.
shea butter.
Anyway, get back to some of such,
Exfoliates. And our triple blended moisturizers helps prevent dry
as
skin.
I'm saying, as I'm a believer in God, regardless of how at times I could play the part of the lesser to you being, being of a prodigal son, being a part of the devil's advocate. And I paid a visit to this given address location of a public facility, being of a local vicinity area neighborhood community eating spot, so far as concerning the soup kitchen, being of which sometimes moonlights as a food pantry, being one or more than quite a few.
Well,
No, I didn't go to the store.
survivors come
I'm
home
just
to their
saying.
families.
They're all over
Others
is what I'm
find
trying to
their
say.
way home.
I went to this one in particular, being one of my much more frequent ones
It's
compared to one of my less
particularly
frequent
very
ones.
few choose to survive.
I went in there to take care of necessary business in hand, like I said, for my own personal survival, get me some drugs, get me something to eat. Then I had yet to stock
Those
my
who returned to
fridge
Paris
with
are lodged at the Hotel de Pichon,
food and
the
sorry,
former HQ
Where to
of
get
German Secret Services,
my
now a
funds,
hospital for the homeless.
you know,
On one
we
wall hang
deposit
hundreds of
into
photos that
my
simply
link
say
card package.
missing along with
No.
the name.
You know, so far as food stamps and cash
For many,
benefits.
the joy of getting home is a temporary one. All their
But
loved
then
ones
the other
have
check day is
disappeared.
just around the corner. Being a
One
witch is
deportee,
a
Louise
once a month
Alphonse,
thing in
says,
its own right.
There was no
Okay.
joy left. We were bringing too many dead people home with us.
Yeah. Anyway, though,
These survivors
well, I went to
will
the
be
one
haunted for a long time
eating
by
spot.
what they've been through.
Hi, I'm George Gilman.
you know, but a soup kitchen. And while I was there, I'm just mentioning something that is was part of my day for the day that I had to go to.
Eastern Europe is still rife.
No. And as this soup kitchen serves
the most horrific of
poor,
them is
needy,
at
and
Kielce,
homeless,
just 124 miles from Warsaw.
certain
It all
characters in there,
starts with an 8-year-old boy running away.
they make with
and
the
accused the
fast
Jews of
hands,
having
you know,
kidnapped him.
fast physical hand gestures, you know, be on that
In
pickpocketing
retaliation,
and purse snatching
42
tip.
Jews are killed.
And once again, I'm having to watch,
policemen,
you know,
soldiers,
my
and
pockets,
women are all part of the
not
mob.
only my pants pockets, and whereas I have a wallet in one pocket on one side of me, I have my apartment keys on the other side, another pocket for my pants, right? Left and right. But then I'm having to watch my jacket pockets, you know, because I have some personal effects, belongings, and possessions within that as well, you know.
According
say-
to one Polish Jew,
Well, mainly or mostly electronic devices, you know,
he wanted to get back to living like
so
human
therefore I had to
beings.
charge and so forth.
The murders
I
of
have
Kielce shattered all our
quite a
illusions.
few other items,
We
you know,
just
of
couldn't
importance
stay
to
there
me.
a moment longer.
Myself. And
But where do they go?
whereas, okay, let me say, for example,
Many
first
head
of all,
off in search of asylum.
I don't only have
100
a
orphans,
brand name
Czech,
cell phone,
Polish, Hungarian, all from Buchenwald.
give or take.
They're full of
Numbers,
hopes for a
some
new life
Then
in the
I
West.
likewise have a backup
The
cell
governments of
phone,
Eastern
being of a
Europe
free
let them
government
leave.
issue cell phone.
Happy to be getting rid of their Jewish minorities.
And the one I got now, free government issue cell phone, it works pretty much so like a regular cell
In July
phone.
1945, the Big
I mean, you
Three
could Google
meet at the
things
heart
on
of
it.
defeated Germany to negotiate the rules
You
that
go.
would govern the post-war period.
You know,
The new president, Harry Truman, proudly
Right.
salutes both the men
Play
and the weapons
games.
that have brought victory.
watch TV or movies,
He
listen
heads
to the
over the
radio,
Soviet zone,
as well as you have the
Moscow,
basic features
briefly
otherwise, where you can
becomes
place
the center of the
calls
world.
and send text
Stalin
messages,
arrives a day late.
you know, stuff like that.
U.S. Ambassador
And,
Harold Perry
I'm like,
remarks that it must be a great
This
satisfaction
most certainly
After all the
is a
trials
much
and
better
tragedies
free
for
government
him to be in
issue
Berlin.
cell phone.
Stalin's deadpan
So I better
reply.
not lose this. This is like, you
Tsar
know,
Alexander
a regular
got the
cell
curse.
I guess it has something to do with this here global
It's
pandemic.
Stalin who dominates the conflict.
You know, the whole world has
His
become
100
subject to
divisions have liberated
experiencing,
Eastern
so they
Europe.
want to make sure that
Now,
people or
it's all
persons
under the
stay
red flag.
connected.
He has a strong
And
card to play.
They're-
Communist parties
They have the
everywhere
minds
will gladly
occupied
obey
where
his orders.
they'll be less likely to do something stupid in these most
Stalin
crazy
sits directly
this
opposite
time.
Harry Truman. In the Soviet
So,
eyes, Truman is just a Kansas City
I ate there.
shopkeeper. He can't hold a candle to
Here-
Roosevelt.
here's
Finds Uncle Joe,
the upside of this one
intelligent
particular
nor
soup
educated.
kitchen that moonlights.
but Roosevelt's
As
successor is at
food
Potsdam
pantry
with a
at the same
secret
time.
of his own.
The upside is that while I'm there, I can watch TV because they have a television set
It's called
No.
Trinity,
where
the first.
it's
atomic
set up
bomb.
with the services for that regard. You know,
Just 4 days ago, Trinity was tested
and
in
not
the
just
Mexico
like
desert
public
and
access
released a
either.
power equivalent to 20,000
No.
tons of TNT.
Compared to another
It's a
soup kitchen I
turning
know,
point in
being
history.
one of my much more
Humanity has
frequented
entered the
ones,
atomic age with the birth of a weapon.
they don't permit you to watch
Could
TV in there.
destroy
They don't
all.
have it, except though they did at one
The
time.
talks go on. Truman rather
So,
cryptically
reason
announces
another,
to
cutting
Stalin
back
that he's developed a new weapon of
on
great
providing
destructive power.
a
Stalin
service
doesn't
of that
even
man. You know. But then
Away from
likewise,
the
this other
conference,
soup kitchen,
however, He confides
The
to
one
his
that,
foreign minister Molotov.
permits the different patrons to watch TV
No
before
doubt
they were to
Washington
eat.
and London are hoping we won't be
They
able
also
to
have some
develop
kind
a
of
bomb for
social
ourselves,
service going
or to
on there.
force us
You
to
know?
accept their plans. Well, that's not going to happen.
So that's the upside of this here particular soup kitchen that
A
moonlights
few
as a
days
food pantry.
later, Truman orders 2 atomic
Whereas the
bombs
downside of it is that
on Hiroshima
they're not
on
as
6th of
spaced
August.
out as some of the other soup kitchens. You know, one of my much more frequented ones that I would think to patronize or attend.
In the space of a few minutes,
Seek
the nuclear
general service
blast
so
wipes
far
out
as
more
to
than
get nourished by
150,000 Japanese.
food
The
provisions
empire
or
of
food
the
supply.
rising sun surrenders. The Second
Whereas
World War is
at this
over.
other one, different patrons are much more closer grouped together, but at the same time respecting the social distancing, you know, and using masks and hand sanitizer. But they can get it with them being close together. You gotta be much more alert to your personal effects, belongings or possessions that you want to get pickpocketed and then be left somewhere in no man's land trying to figure out how you're gonna get back home to your place of residence. Where you live in a unit atmosphere of an apartment like I do, or you have your own home or house, or you stay, I say within a hotel or motel. I wouldn't say mansion, because if I had a mansion, then quite naturally then I would be considered as being in the upper class of society, and I wouldn't need their services, And because from there I'd be much better off than the usual Joe Paloco average person, Much better off than some of the other person, be they have places to call their own, to pay, monthly rent, utilities, and home phone service fees, and mortgage, etc. for.
There's a lot to like. It's another way to find your beach.
Whereas that would have to mean that I would be above average, like as in really well-to-do or rich if I had a mansion. But anyway, getting back to some such stuff, so, and regardless of whether or not I have been of the upper class before, but then that's beside that's irrelevant. Getting back to some such stuff, so I'm at this soup kitchen moonlight in the food pantry, right? And I'm having to watch my pockets because you have a lot of fast hands in there, and I suspect that at one time or another, some characters may have got me in there. Remember, I had informed you all, social media family, how at one time or another, most recently, like it happened in the past, most recently, I was clipped of certain personal effects, belongings or possessions of personal ID, and whereas I would have to get in touch as soon as I can with the different credit bureaus to make sure that nobody, anytime too soon enough again, because it wouldn't be the first time that I had become subject to experiencing a case or situation of identity theft. See, that's the kind of personal effects belonging to possession I'm talking about so far as IDs is concerned.
That's incredible.
I mean, this is one of them soup kitchens that is really known for that. Characters in there with the fast hand movements, fast hand physical gestures that he be making. Then they like to crisscross the floor, like say. I said, we've been called by some social worker in there. They want to see if you're so focused on trying to, make contact with the social worker that you can sleep that one. They go for your pockets and clip you, Or when they call the different tables up, they want to stand behind you and be like making fast hands. So it's one of those kind of soup kitchens, like that food pantry. But nevertheless, I keep my eyes open since that last episode of me being clipped by one of them jokers, because they could have got my wallet and I would have been stranded somewhere, without any means of transportation, You know,
Stalin
no,
came to
you
Potsdam
know how
as the
that
top
is.
dog,
Or they could have took my apartment keys.
but he soon finds out that the little Kansas City
So-
shopkeeper is more determined than he thought.
I went there and I'm like, damn, they're going back with the same old whatchamacallit. They're not considering how we're all suffering in this global
Meanwhile,
pandemic.
people are
That you got
still caught in the
certain
frenzy of
characters, they
liberation.
so merciless, you know.
Publicly, in France,
They have little or no
Norway,
compassion,
Denmark,
sympathy,
women
or
are having their
empathy
head
for their
shaved.
fellow man, American citizen and a foreigner alike, you know, like certain characters that
Any
are in this
contact
building
with the
where I'm
enemy,
at, you
even
know.
socializing with them.
You hear
is
what I'm
enough to
saying?
cause suspicion.
I mean, and especially when
And with
characters
such
that be
crimes,
like
real or
moonlighting and
imagined,
spooks and shit by the door,
vigilantes
be
give
bothering
full
with
rein to
other
their
neighbors'
anger.
apartment doors, you know.
It's a release
From
for any
such-
men who have felt their virility
among the many
threatened
different
by
residents of tenant,
indoctrination.
like at the old building where I was at. Same is happening here at the new
Right up
building.
until
There's this one
1946,
particular neighbor from
Tens of
hell.
thousands of women are still being
He is still
humiliated.
going all out his way to not only violate his apartment
It's
rental
not
lease,
just their
but
hair
then
being
at the
cut off
same
either.
time
Heads are
disrespect
rolled, too.
my rights and privileges
In the
as his
Allier region,
fellow
every
neighbor
city,
of a
two
resident or
collaborators
tenant,
are
you know.
taken from the prison by a fanatical crowd, and the
But it's
police
all
are
good.
allowed to express its feelings.
I mean, whenever I try to stay focused on the God of my own understanding, it don't bother me so much. It's just that when I take my eyes off the prize and
Nazism
give
appears
in
to
to
have been
human
infectious,
nature to
reads one
respond
editorial,
to
the
his
point of persuading
ignorance,
some people that violence
insanity,
is
and
permissible.
impoliteness, or in other words,
What's the
stupidity,
point of a
sickness, and
victory over
rudeness,
barbarians?
somewhat, if not
Convince
altogether,
them,
on the
imitate
same
them,
level
and
that he be
behave
coming
like
at
they
me with his 2-cent power plays, you know, causing me to lose sleep and
Once all
start
the
my
fury
day
is
off late.
vented, it's time for justice to prevail.
Because stupid does
In
and stupid
France,
feels,
Belgium,
you know.
Italy, Holland, and Norway,
Anyway, though,
thousands of collaborators are brought to trial.
while I was there, getting back to some of such other, so far the soup
Now
kitchen
has
that
day.
moonlights as a food pantry, I decided to take a what you call a coronavirus test or COVID-19 test, you know.
In Italy, two young filmmakers
And
immortalized
this
the
would not be the
brutal
first
reality
time that I
of
have
this.
taken some such, because very reason why I thought to do so, because at one time or another, I had patronized the general services of the mass transit of the public transportation system, you know, with all of its many different bus and train routes, you know, for where I'm at, for the Midwest.
But after
the
years of
USA.
bloodshed, the world is impatient for some closure.
And there was this one guy or fella, you know, he looked kind of Hispanic or Asian.
The biggest criminal
been
trial in
mixed.
history opens in
I don't
November
know, but
1945.
Anyway, he was standing rather close to me on a mode of transport. It don't matter whether it was for a given bus or a
The
train
leading
route. but
figures of the
as a
Nazi
matter of
Party
fact, he was
must
just
answer
a
for
couple
their
few
crimes.
inches away from me. And he was not covering his nose or his mouth while he was sneezing and coughing. And I'm like, my name from my friends, but I'm like saying that is in my head. I'm not saying, damn, son of a bitch, you know.
Supreme Commander
And I'm wondering if the very reason why
in all,
I haven't been feeling
from
so
before the
much
court.
better since the last time I did, well, so much better before I had, you know, started to feel up in the weather, but then
At the
starting
start
to
of the trials, the
feel
U.S.
better
Attorney
now.
General Tom
But
Clark
for a while, I was
addresses the
feeling really
juries.
up under the weather, you know, and where so
Wrongs which we seek to condemn
I have yet to get back to the part of feeling like more like myself,
have been so
you know, but
calculated.
ever since then, I haven't been feeling like I should have been feeling, you know, because even when I was drinking and using my drug of choice, I was in some such of the much better, best of general physical health. Not only that, but in due regard, in reference to my mental health at that,
Guilty
you know.
or not guilty.
The
So
accused
this
all
guy
stand
or
up
fella,
to
he was
the
like,
bar.
achoo. I'm like, damn. Like, cover your, I'm like thinking in my head, cover your damn nose and mouth, faggot. No
It'll
offense
take
meant
almost a
to
year,
card-carrying
400
members
hearings,
of
and
male characters, the
16,000 pages of
LGBT community,
transcriptions
but you can
to
imagine
show the world the
how
full
pissed
extent
off I
of Nazi
felt
barbarism.
at that given moment in time,
Among
because
the
he
many
was
witnesses
representing
is
less
the Communist
manhood,
Resistance
not
member
respected.
Marie-Claude Vaillant-Couchet,
My
who was interrogated
rights and
both
privileges
Auschwitz and Ravensbrück.
as a
Her
passenger
testimony
mass
impresses the courtroom.
transit of a public transportation system, similar to a neighbor not respecting the rights and privileges of one's fellow neighbor. You know? So I was like, damn. So from there, I had got to taking a coronavirus test, a COVID-19 test, then and there. Then most recently, I took another one. So I had yet to wait for the results for come what may, but then that is for the most recent one. But then the last one I had taken, I was informed by doctors and nurses that I'm supposed to have been cleared.
For such unspeakable acts.
And hopefully they're telling me it like you know, being on the level.
First time.
Otherwise, that's a major lawsuit forthcoming. You know,
hundreds of other trials follow.
I would
such as that
seek the general services of, as I would think, to make contact with an attorney or a lawyer.
And
you know?
shrunken heads.
Yeah.
Her McCall trophies are introduced as evidence.
Other than that, I'm just trying to chill. Now that I'm back at my pad, you know.
She was sentenced to life imprisonment.
Yeah. Regardless of how
the worst offenders
people or persons are becoming really like,
Carl Herman Frank.
You know, desperate, and as I say, in desperate times calls for desperate measures. So, you know, more than quite a few of us have to watch our wallets and pockets and purses that much more now, you know. Okay. Just remember how I was supposed to be at this other bus stop.
In Russia, the executions draw thousands of spectators,
or whatever.
All eager to watch their
this other guy, I felt he was coming up on me, supposed to be asking me a question. I'm like backing up. I'm like, I don't know you. I didn't bring it back to him like that, but I'm thinking in my head, I don't know what you could be possibly, you know, on or be planning or attempting to do. I'm like, I'm backing up. I'm like thinking, because I was about to put my hand out all of a sudden. Say, whoa, brother. Okay, whatever it is you have to ask me. You ask me from right over there. You ain't got to come up on me, you know. Okay, you get a little bit too close for comfort now, because I don't know what your mind's intentions may be, you know.
And how many others responsible,
regardless of whether he himself would be, you know, homeless or not, one of these daily transits or whatever, say, or drunk or hype. So I don't know what his mind's intentions could possibly be, you know. And
May 1945.
more than quite a few times, most recently, more than quite a few times, well, at least a few times, some male characters, they know that they're on the south side of Chicago, and they got the nerve to ask me about certain streets.
Now everyone just wants to get.
And I'm like, say, aren't you from Chicago? Yeah, I'm from Chicago. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, how the damn hell you? I mean, some of the most familiar streets, you know. So that told me something right there. And they're not trying to find out, you know, so much as what they trying to claim. If anything, they on some stick and move, snatch and run tip, you know. So I'm like saying, I'm like, how in the world can a person that's been in Chicago for the longest not know where Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Drive is at, or Cottage Grove Avenue? So they told me right there, no, don't let this person of another male representing the same sex get up on you. Before you know, he could come out with a stick-a-jig or a gap and say, this is a stick up, you know. That's why I had to put my hand out there and say, whoa. I said, what did you have to ask me, brother? In more words or less. You know, I'm like saying at the same time, more or less put my hand out there. I'm like, whoa, hold up, chill, homie, women. You know, you could stay right there and ask me the question all the same. You know, you ain't gotta come up on me, because I don't know what his man's intentions is like. You know, what he could be on.
Purges are costing the lives of thousands of people. The Allies.
But then, anyway, though, and
more than 40 million
I took me some reading materials, paper, we call paper dailies, you know, newspaper, whatever you want to call it. This supposed to be
people are still hungry.
The Wall Street Journal talking about Pandora box of coronavirus, COVID-19. And though I don't really read these papers, and don't get me wrong, don't get us to assume that I'm affiliated, associated with, and representing some of such other this paper. This supposed to be a communist paper. See, I like to read it. I mean, I try to be level-minded. Not that I'm about to become a commie, but this is supposed to be a communist paper, you know.
sometimes with a bit of help from
And anything to occupy my mind practically, if not possibly altogether, in times like these, that we not only need us Savior, but the Savior, you know, to complement the same perilous times calls for perilous measures, you know. That don't mean you got to go out here and attempt to rob a currency exchange or bank or attempt to, you know, commit highway robbery upon a fellow American citizen or foreigner, or you know, attempt to snatch some panties, you know. That'd be funny if you look at it from one point of view, it's not another. If you were to hear somebody mouthing off upon premise of probably the mass transit before atmosphere of place of business, mouthing off not so much as a loud, audible, you know, voice like so, but in the kind of like a whisper was with one being the company or some such of one's home.
You can see the work has begun.
I'm not getting sick and tired of this about this corona or COVID. I mean, I'm already having a hard way to go. I'm going through some changes. Yeah, I haven't had a piece of the pie, the pea hole, a piece of slice of a woman. And gets on me, I have to snatch some panties, you know. If you hear a male character like that upon premise of properties of a mass transit of a public transportation system, or for the atmosphere of a place of business, then get away from that joke as far as you can, lest other people or person get to assume that you may be with, you know, a male character like that. Right.
Since manpower is scarce,
Right.
they're learning the art of
Look at that bee, man. Look at that heifer. I know she got a curfew. She better make sure she make a curfew at night. I was a big bad wolf that was busy with
They
it.
just pick up the old bricks and use them again.
I think I told you all about the urban legend horror story that was an actual news headline story upon the different news channel stations for television, radio, etc. Within the daily papers, you know, about how some joker, you know, he got back with this adolescent or teenage girl, you know, as she had ventured off to try to make it to school much earlier, you know, before the school crossing guards were to be out there, even before the birds were to get to doing that beautiful chirping tweet song number. And she went out in the streets trying to get to school, and one of them jokers, one of them werewolves, one of them wolves, you know, attempting to, you know, prowl upon prey of Little Red Riding Hood that got a hold of her and tore her up. Only after this male character beated her within an inch of her life. He's supposed to have beaten her more or less, like say, into coma, you know, leaving her half dead in the dead of winter. Whereas when she was found by some of such others, she laid out sprawled flat on her back with her legs spread in a most embarrassing position, with her panties pulled down to and below her knees, you know, and looked like she'd been violated. You know, her clothing had tore open like what you would think coming from a mad dog with rabies, you know, a wild animal, you know, like she'd been attacked by a lion of the jungle or something, you know, or really now, or a bear, or a gorilla, or ape, whatever, I would say. Whereas he's supposed to give her a black eye, a bloody nose, a fat lip, a broken jaw, a few cracked ribs, and then some. You know, made her half blind in one eye, half paralyzed on her side, went at her, tore her up. Thing is, I don't remember, you know, if they said it. I mean, I think I changed the channel, so I mean, if I mean say so. So I don't know what had become of that character, whether or not they really caught him, brought him to justice, or I don't know if she made out okay, you know. But he beat the crap out of her in the process of getting the pussy or poontang. I mean, some grown adult perv of a male, a grown adult man attacking a young schoolgirl like that, you know. Regardless of whether she was an adolescent or teenager, or worse yet, could have possibly been a preteen girl. But he went at a, like Catholic priests would be like vamping upon boys. Gay pedophile Catholic priests be scoping, stalking, and vamping or preying upon us rather than to think of it with mass intention to get to preying with many different races of underage male minors, adolescent or teenage boys, whatever walks of life, fashions, and sad lifestyle preferences. Yeah, these are the kind of crazy times we're living in, I mean, with people or persons feeling like just so much cabin fever,
With the continent inching slowly
feel like hermits and so forth. So you can imagine how much worse it would be now.
A young
And I ain't trying to go there with some of such,
caused a scramble.
Like this one brother at the same soup kitchen I was telling you about. Whereas at one time now I was just feeling so like groggy or sleepy like, but I had to shake myself awake unless I would be clipped, as in get pickpocketed, And whereas this one brother, after a while, it finally like clicked in his head that I was suspicious of himself attempting to pick my pocket. So he wanted to bring it back to me as if I'm the one wrong, Imagine that, attempting to clip another brother and got the nerve to picture, get an attitude. Man, why you looking like that, man? I want what's in your wallet. So I told him right there that more than likely he was attempting to pickpocket me. I feel offended.
To make sure it's working in the interest of
I don't like to be accused. They don't be doing something. They don't have to be accused of doing something rather foul or funky. I had to tell them from there. I was like, then why you keep looking at my pants pocket then? If you're not attempting to pull something foul, then why you keep looking at my pants pocket? Now you get mad because I caught you at it because I was not going to G for that. Really no.
In Britain, to ease the strain on the big cities.
So yeah, I recognize and realize. These are some really crazy times. Complimentary song number comes from Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood Children's Television Show, where she would say, "Who are the people in your neighborhood or in your neighborhood?" In your neighborhood, yeah, who are the people in your neighborhood? They're the people that you meet each day, be they good or bad.
Another hopeful sign for the future is the steep increase in births.
So,
are looking more promising.
I'm not trying to go there with anybody. It's not like I'm about to, do a rendition or parody of Ha Ha Davis. I'm just trying to do my time. Hey, that big fella, big guy. You gotta like bend on over now. See more homies. I ain't gonna be punked out, get that. Remember that Ha Ha Davis shit? Yeah. Anyway, though, y'all, I think I'm just gonna draw it to a close, and get back with y'all. Like this piece of folks. I just want to chill and get some more liquids or fluids in my system. I think the most H2O. I have yet to get another supply of bottled water. Somebody is trespassing my premises and property, stealing my bottled water. So now I'm gonna have to take a chance drinking this damn tap water. Ain't that a bitch? And I don't like to drink tap water, but see now that's the only means that I have at the moment for to drink. So far as water is concerned, I don't like to go there, but I'm gonna have to, because the physical human body needs water more than any other liquids or fluids. And I hate that. If I could just find out where exactly they'd be selling some such and then have it installed, some burglar bars on my door, as a double security measure,
Together,
you know.
we can help save the restaurants we love.
Yeah, because they be stealing in this building, like they stole at the last building I was at, you know, packages and they seem like they be going through other neighbors' mailboxes and so forth. I mean, it is crazy in time like this, you know. You gotta watch as well as pray, I say. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Then I'm gonna bring it to close. I really want to get back to watching this here program, you know, history. History being one of my favorite programs, you know. Well, I may just stay on a little while longer. That all
In the
depends.
east, people are also
Okay, I'm gonna try to
dreaming of
get
a
this here broadcast about.
but there, it's Moscow that is calling the shots.
I say, or how you say, oh, I don't
The
know.
Eastern European states were liberated.
About another half an hour, you all.
So as far as Stalin
Okay.
is concerned, they're under his control.
Yeah, I'm gonna call it quits
To establish his
No.
power there without
because
losing
I'm
the
kind of
base.
tired.
His strategy is to get communists into position.
I didn't eat much for today.
In
For
Poland,
the one
Czechoslovakia,
soup kitchen I
Bulgaria,
went to,
Hungary,
you know.
communist
I mean,
parties are
they
deploying their
had for the meat item probably they had some ham. And ham is like pork otherwise, so I couldn't stomach.
quietly, they're taking all
So I ate the
positions.
beans that they had.
Justice,
The beans
the
were good,
military,
you know. They
public
should have had
affairs,
some rice to go
and an
along
ever
with it.
more repressive machinery of state.
Yeah, I mean, I have like what you could call a Muslim
In
diet,
public, the
you
only
know,
one who seems alarmed
I don't
by
eat
this
any
is
kind
former
of
British Prime Minister
pork
Winston
product.
Churchill.
and that's including, you know, some of such what you call
In March
skins
1946,
or
invited to speak
or-
in Fulton,
or-
Missouri, Churchill
or-
loudly and
or
clearly condemned
rinds
the
or
rapid
crackling,
approach of Soviet
because I used to be
menace.
crazy about pork skins, pork rinds, or pork crackling. And now I don't even eat that. That was some of such my much more or most favorite
Nobody's
snacks, you
listening,
know.
though.
Put some hot salt
Eastern
as well as
Europe's
ketchup
governments
with
are
it.
blind to the red
Give me a
terror.
bottle of soda or some
They're still
juice
haunted by the
or
barbarity
water.
of the
Man,
Nazis.
that was some good
In
eating.
their
But now,
eyes, Germany is still
man,
their
I
community.
can't. I don't care to eat any pork.
In
You know,
Hungary, Yugoslavia,
because whenever I was
Czechoslovakia,
eating pork,
Romania,
that's what I would
Cuba,
mainly or mostly
these
eat. You
post-war
know, when it
years
comes to
present
pork,
the opportunity to
some
settle
pork
old scores.
skins, pork crack,
And the targets are
pork
their German
rinds, or
immigrant
pork
populations.
crackling. I very seldom eat that other pork, the heavier pork.
They may have
No.
just arrived or
That's
been
just
there
me,
for
but now I don't
decades,
even
but
eat
from
that
now on,
kind
they
of
are
pork.
persona non grata.
Yeah, you can take it for what you want, but that's just me. I'm not saying. I'm saying a statement for the record. The only way I would eat pork would be on short notice, or if it was like kind of like an emergency situation, you know, like right, say if I hadn't had a bite to eat in quite a while, like if I've been eating rather skimpy meals, you know, for consecutive days and night in a row, and I gotta get something much more nutritious in my system, then from there I would like eat some ham, you know. Give me some ham meat, you know. That's the only thing that would be available, you know, unless some such other could become more available. I eat me some ham meat when it comes to, you know, item products of meat, you know. Okay. Because I don't like to put something in my system that's unnatural. You know what I'm saying? Or that's not health conscious. There's not some such that will benefit your general physical health, you know.
The Czech authorities.
So you can imagine how I don't like to take any prescription meds for that matter, unless I really have to, and therefore I don't like to take any over-the-counter drugs unless I really have to, you know.
Quickly launched.
You know what I mean? I mean, you only have one life in this world.
More than 100 people lose their lives.
As anybody here, believers and non-believers alike.
The lynching of Germans is becoming a common event.
So, therefore, you gotta treat your temple
Amateur filmmaker is shooting
as the temple is supposed to be where God dwells. You gotta treat your temple like so. You gotta take care of yourselves. We gotta take care of ourselves, believers and unbelievers and non-believers alike, because we all only have one life to live in this world, you know.
Thousands
so why take a chance on jeopardizing your general physical health, putting some of anything and everything, practically, you know, possibly at times, depending on the individual.
One Czech student,
like say into your physical body, you know.
Just like
that just doesn't or don't make good sense. You know what I'm saying? Okay. I remember some brothers like practically recently
More than 2
asking me, do I
million
want
checks of German
want some
origin are
smokes?
thrown
I
out
said, nah,
to the
that's okay,
delight of the
man.
news
I'm cool.
media.
I'm cool. Matter of fact, I'm in recovery. You know what I'm saying? What's it gonna cost me? You know, trying to sell squares or trying to treat, well, you know, you'll be surprised when you go into recovery. Like, where before then, you can't hardly get anything out of anybody. Very minute you go in recovery, like such a anybody, everybody want to offer you something, a little or nothing.
The Poles are
Hey
also
man, you want
getting
some of
back
this?
their
Nah,
former
that's okay, bro.
oppressors.
I'm straight. You know.
They're German minorities.
Besides all that, you know,
who
you're
run
not
the
supposed
country.
to like drink behind anybody or smoke behind anybody. Anyway,
Former
especially in
concentration
these
camps,
times
not
that
long
we're
ago
living
dedicated to
in, you
wiping
know.
out the Jewish race, are now
You know what I'm
used to
saying?
house them.
You smoke something, smoke the same square of somebody
Many
else,
of
you don't
them
know
will
where
die.
that miles could have been. You know what I'm saying? They could have been sucking penis or eating vagina, depending on whichever gender or which is one's lifestyle that one is affiliated, associated with, and representing. You know, imagine that if you're not into eating pussy and you smoking a square of another brother, another male, and he himself could be into eating pussy. Then, regardless of whether or not you know you eat pussy, if the saliva mixed with that woman's pussy juice, as he ate pussy in raw, the saliva mixed with her pussy juice, and he wetting the tip of the square, the cigarette or cigar, and then give it to another brother male, then you know, you hear what I'm saying? Can you feel me? So like the saliva of his is gonna mix with your saliva. Whatever that bitch or hoe got, you gonna catch that shit. You know what I'm saying? That's why they say, you know, how much less in times like these should you smoke or drink behind anybody, you know, because this shit is real. You want to call my friend. Then I think y'all just get the general idea of what I'm trying to say. I don't smoke behind anybody. I don't drink behind anybody. You know, you know what I'm saying? If somebody would have offered me something so far, like they return the favor so far as the drink is concerned, you know, unless they have some styrofoam cups that they just bought or so and want to return the favor and pour me a drink from the bottle, that would be cool if I was still drinking, you know. But if I see them just take off the top of some sort of the cap, you know, and then drink from the bottle, and then took the offer me some or something, I'd be like, nah, that's okay, bro. I'm cool, you know. If you had been thinking, you could have poured me some in a cup, man. You know, I don't drink behind anybody nowadays. I mean, that's like ancient history for me. We never really did that to begin with anyway. Nah, I'm cool, bro. Go on here. I'd be like, be down, man. Knock it on out. Knock it all out, man. So what's the matter, homie? Now, just that I don't drink behind anybody. I don't drink behind anybody. I don't smoke behind anybody. I don't speak behind anybody. You know what I'm saying? Because I ain't trying to catch some of anything and everything in times like these, you know.
Authorities accuse the Germans of all kinds.
No, that's just it. That's just it. I don't do that. They gotta respect me for that. If they don't, I'll be like, well, that's cool too. Just as long as you don't act like you're gonna run up on me and attempt to bitch slap me or something. Like you getting an attitude, like you feel offended. I mean, how you gonna feel offended at somebody's person? How you gonna be feeling offended at somebody that's trying to do the right thing, that's trying to look out for oneself, that's trying to be about one's general physical health? You know, that just being goofy, stupid, and sick. You know, you can't diss anybody trying to look out for oneself or what's in their one's better interest, being this person than that person. You know what I'm saying? Hell no, I don't drink behind anybody, smoke behind anybody nowadays. If I was to relapse, you know, cause this damn what you call it is out here killing peoples or persons left and right, you know, and some of the worstest places where you can catch it is in jail and in those nursing homes. Oh man. Those are like death camps, you know. So if you don't want to wind up in the can, then don't be perpetrating this crime, you know. If you don't want to wind up in a nursing home, then you know, get you some business about yourself, you know. Get in touch with a social worker and see if you could be like sent somewhere like some cheap hotel or motel where you have your own room and so forth, you know, as a senior citizen, you know. Then wind up there or in some halfway house, you know, that is like similar to a nursing home. Because it's killing people. It's killing people out here. People are dying. They're dropping off like flies, man. That stuff is even killing children, you know.
Dedicated to wiping out the Jewish race.
Because children don't have as much of a immune system like adults or grown-ups, you know. Their immune system is still part of their growing body that's yet to develop. You know what I'm saying? Speaking of something, look. Baby goo-goos and baby goo-goos and all the different baby goo-goos. Man, I mean, if you don't look out for yourself, you know, I mean, then that's on you. You know, first preservation, the first law of nature. How you gonna help anybody if you can't help yourself? You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Then there's one neighbor, he's going on out his way to attempt to destroy my peace of mind and then something, you know. I listen to Bam Bam Rubble routine, especially at night on the late evening hours, you know. So man, I'm like, this guy, that fella, he is like off his rocker, stone cold nuts, you know. I'm like, how in the world can anybody boom, 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 boom. I'm like, what is he doing in his apartment? Boom, 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 boom. Running an obstacle course? Does he think he's like, you know, doing basic training, like he's like on a military base or what? Do we think in the park?
Like no one else.
This is a residential building, you know. Boom, 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 boom. So much for that. I mean, dwell on negative. You know. Like they say, when you have lemons, make lemonade.
At Amina Health, we always put you first.
And when you have peanut butter and bread and don't have much to eat, make yourself a sandwich. I Yeah, speaking of some such, you know, I don't mean to brag or anything like that. Now, when a man don't have family, he got nut, you know. You know, this one brother, man, a living brother, compared to before then, I was thinking along this line of thought much rather instead of in a godly way as a believer in God. Whereas I had at one time another wish for him to have died than the two brothers otherwise. Now it's all different. It was something I was about to say. Yeah. Oh yeah. So we pretty much so smooth things out before we had another falling out. And now I'm not in touch with him anymore, but before we had the most recent falling out, whereas I gave him something like $500, you know, as in dollars, not thousands or millions. I don't mean like that. You know what I'm saying? What do I look like, a drug lord or something, or a banker? What's the difference between a drug lord and a banker? They both be, you know, stealing others, you know, that is their pensions, saving life savings, you know.
Populations are driven out of Eastern Europe.
And there's a lot of crooked bankers in the banking.
It's one of the biggest floods of refugees in the history.
I just remind me, you know, from time to time I try to
million of them,
you know, because I have done it before. put money in the bank, make
the banished
deposits.
Germans are all marching along the same
At one time, I had a pretty nice stash of cash in the bank for sometime last year and this year, but it didn't got down to, because I had to pay expenses, expenses for moving and so forth. And
we tend to
mainly, mostly that money that I had in the bank was from loans that I got from relatives, my OG in particular, and whereas I'm on a monthly basis of paying her back till I pay off the whole amount.
But
anyway, though,
aren't the only targets of
from what money I had in my pocket left over after paying out moving expenses and then some. So there's one living brother of mine, the surviving flesh and blood brother for my own immediate personal family household. So I I took him about a $50,000 as in dollars. I'm saying here.
Ukrainian militants.
He can take it for what he wants. He take it as a loan or a freebie. I don't care, but I really meant to give it to him as a loan, right? But because the last time I did that, he thought I just give it away to them freely. I said, heck, I ain't got no money just be throwing at anybody, You gotta know that, man. Come on now, we both on limited annual monthly, that limited or fixed annual monthly incomes. Come on now. So I gave him another $500. That was before we had a falling out. I could have used that for myself. Stock my fridge with food, and likewise my kitchen cabinets and so forth. Take my clothes into the laundromat, but then I still have yet to sort things in my place. I've been feeling sick, as I told you all in previous broadcasts, and then I have to work up on the conditions of a neighbor from hell cocksucker still making extremely excessive noises of different sorts of types upon a daily and nightly basis, And where most of my personal effects, belongings, or possessions is mainly like, wardrobe, apparel, attire, as in clothing look like some of such has been stolen from my place of residence here, been in my new one. Like somebody trespassed my premises and took, as in cop, more than quite a few of the same in the said place in the previous prior mention. I ain't gonna worry about it, just as long as I got enough clothing, where I could change up from time to time, But I had yet to stash all together, all some such a way I don't have to sort and something. I've been trying to get back into the swing of things, of sorting my clothing, so that in due time I could take it to, either a neighborhood laundromat or wash and dry some such within the building here for the laundry on site for these premises properties,
In 1947,
So I'm like wearing odds and ends, trying to find something that look relatively somewhat not altogether clean, because I don't want to become offensive to anybody upon a mass transit of a public transportation system or for an atmosphere of place of business, be it public or private. But then nowadays, you don't have any places of businesses that let people, a person just go in there in droves, Only so few people can go in at one time, and you gotta practice all this social distancing, and then some. It got so bad where they closing some of such places of businesses that should have been open much more often than not than any other place of business, like schools and self-help recovery program meetings and libraries and churches, claiming if anybody holds a mass church service, where there's more than something like if there's more than from 10 to 20 persons, you're going to get arrested.
But for the American, British, and French allies,
and whereas the churches,
of Eastern Europe
even so, in its own right, are online, as in on electronic devices, and I'm not really feeling that, because I believe in attending events in person, So I don't know if there could be a real church service in progress, or just some virtual reality stuff that somebody can compose, manufactured. You don't know what you could be watching, who could own the what you call the intellectual properties of some or such. Is the government attempting to program one and make us all like so many, human guinea pig projects to be experimented with, Okay, and to compliment something that is supposed to be more than rumor, that the ruling elite of the one percenters who own the majority of the world's wealth and resources want to bump off some like 1 billion persons in the world, whatever race, whatever walk of life, and with the help of their flunky subordinates, so they can have much better control of the masses. And so therefore you will see more of these papers coming out in regard to the communists, or socialists, Then why exchange one demonic leadership for another demonic leadership of a political persuasion, especially if it's religious? So I'm still a capitalist, not a communist. I'm still into the democratic republic as we have, or democracy, supposed so-called democracy. Then see the USA become more of a communist or socialist or fascist state of being. You know what I'm saying? But then I'm gonna try to wrap this up, y'all, and get back with you all later, as I would usually give that a basic intro. From there I would, speak upon a subject matter, a couple, few or four more, and then I would get a closing. And I would try to force myself to say it if it don't come naturally to me to say some or such at some given moment in time for whatever reason. Whatever. But anyway, though, and so I say, if you haven't gotten Christ as your personal Lord and Savior, I would hope that you would think to do so now, while the blood is still running warm in your vein, by recognizing and realizing what He Himself had done or did, I have said, upon the cross of Calvary, on the hill of Golgotha, suffering at the hands of some Roman soldiers, up on the orders of their religious superiors, being of Pharisees and Sadducees, but then nevertheless, whereas He Himself had permitted Himself to be crucified, to become that perfect sacrifice, the only sacrifice for you as well as for me. So if any of us, being of whatsoever races and of whatever walks of life, factions, society, lifestyle preferences, being of old, young, like both two sexual genders, representing the global community within this post 911 era of a new millennium, apocalyptic day and age, where the doomsday clock is now at a few minutes of midnight, compared on how formerly previous prior to then was a quarter midnight for the biblical prophetic times. Word to profess some of such faith in Him, never will become and be blessed in one regard or another, or more ways than one. First and foremost, with it, that of His salvation, being of which is the only means by which we can or could possibly hope to enter into the kingdom of heaven. And then second of all, where we'll be blessed with His deliverance. But first, you have got to get His salvation before you can get that of any blessings, because that's the most important blessing for you to have. You will open up the door to other blessings, because if you don't have Christ's salvation, then you're not entitled to any blessing. And if you should cross on over and make that transition for the great beyond the hereafter, the afterlife, and have not the blood sacrifice of our Lord and Savior Christ, Messiah, deliverer, upon and within your souls, then once you would have crossed on over, your next final destination would be the lake of fire, damn hell, to be tortured and terrorized by the devil and demons forever. Being that because you did not think it so important for that person of yourself to guarantee a much more peaceful existence for the afterlife. Understand what I'm saying? Famo, social media family.
But Truman has another point.
But then,
the principal danger,
whereas all unsaved unbelievers and non-believers go straight to the lake of fire, damn hell, to be tortured and terrorized by the devil and the demons for all eternity. Whereas we, being of whom are believers in God, will be across the great divide of heaven and hell.
The economy is still not back on its feet.
Great divide that separates heaven and hell. Well, I mean to say, peace, continue
still being rationed.
But we'll be across the great divide that separates heaven from hell, and be in a company of other like-minded believers in God, as Christians, aka Protestants.
So,
what I
to
meant to
prop
say.
up Europe and
You know what I'm saying?
communism, Washington
Because God is not
had
to
a
be
huge
mocked.
project.
What you sow is what you shall reap. You know,
Its
if you don't have the
objective
blood
was to
sacrifice of our
grant
Lord and Savior
credits to
Christ, the
Europe
Messiah,
to help
deliver
out.
upon and within your soul as an insurance policy in the spiritual sense of the word.
Raw materials
If you
and
didn't
machine tools
spend
are
at least a
certain
little
values
quality
being
time
sold
with God to decide what your fate would become once you were to leave this world, even if you didn't make a decision
Stalin
or choice to reject him, then it would be like you did or had done just that, because you ignored that other chance to reflect upon what he himself had done for humankind. You know, it would be like a spit in the face of God. So if you were to cross him over without his blood sacrifice, and then you try to reason and say, I didn't know, it would be brought back to your mind, whereas you would hear it be said, but you did know. You had more than enough time to decide whether or not to accept Christ's salvation. And you had either rejected it or you ignored it, you know. Ignoring is like rejecting, okay? It's another way of rejecting Christ's salvation, you know. And if you go to hell, that would be mainly or mostly on you, nobody else. You hear what I'm saying? Because God cannot let any unsaved sinners or disrespectful sin in his presence, you know. Then because you trampled on the feet the salvation of God, that would be like saying you don't care about it, you know. You be thinking that you're going to live your life forever in this world, when such is not the case in the situation, you know. Okay? And a fool and his money are soon departed. There's a way that seems right unto a man, but the ways thereof are the ways of death. And fools walk in where angels fear to tread. You know what I'm saying? There's a way that seems right unto man, but the ways thereof are the ways of death. And it's appointed on the man wants to die, but after this judgment. So choose life while you still have it, you know. You mean to tell me that you can't spend at least a few minutes with God to reflect upon his great plan to save the human species by having taken on human form and given his life upon the cross of Calvary, so they can restore the breach between man and humankind, or humankind, excuse me, sorry about that. Prince Peace continue regulating my mind compared to Prince confused my speech. But you mean to tell me you can't spend at least a few minutes to reflect upon God in the form of man, the form of a human male, had given his life so that he could open up the doorway to heaven, so he can restore the breach between mankind or humankind and God, is what I mean to say. Okay? Mankind, and God. So you cannot blame you cannot blame anybody if you should die in your sins and be, and be like from there punished for all eternity as a lost damn human soul, you know, because the rejection of so much knowledge and wisdom of salvation, the love of God, Christ as he is, would be on you, you know. If you're not willing to listen to your fellow man try to share the gospel message with you, that's a believer, then as you would disrespect, a believer in God by refusing to hear what he has to say about the gospel, then that would be like you disrespecting God all the same, because believing in God represents God upon the planet Earth. I'm not talking about those false brethren. There's some such the worstest of unbelievers and non-believers, where there's a special spot reserved in a lake of fire, damn hell, just for them. You know, they playing with God's word, not sharing the gospel message in sincerity, but trying to come off like one of these prosperity preachers, pimping God's word, the Bible, the basic instruction before leaving earth, regarding making reference to salvation and deliverance in Christ, our Lord and Savior, the Messiah deliverance. And that's a no. Jesus, what don't you understand? I say, for those who continue to reject so great a salvation. Now is the time. Now is the day of salvation. You know, it used to be a saying that goes like this here today, gone tomorrow. Now it's Here today, gone today, because you never know what could happen to you during the course of 24 hours. Think about it. John 3:16. For God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son, that whosoever believes in him shall not perish, but have everlasting life. Hey, you all take care and be safe. Be blessed, not stressed. Peace and love, joy and happiness. Until we meet again, I wish you all well. Be blessed. God bless.
Works indoor, works outdoor. It's weatherproof, it's waterproof, it's versatile, and incredibly
I said, until we meet again, I wish you all well. Hopefully some, if not all of you, will reflect upon what I was saying and get salvation of God before it becomes too late. For tomorrow is not promised to anyone, to nobody. You hear? Nobody, not anyone. Peace and love, joy and happiness. Until then, bye-bye.